Okay. So this is going to be our session 3 in Python course. So in today's session, we're going to learn strings and different methods in string and Boolean data type and different operators in Python and two of other different data types called lists and tuples. Okay. So normally, what do you mean by a string? So as I told previously, string should be either in single, can either be in single quotes or double quotes. If it is in multiple line, we can use 3 single quotes. Okay. Let's say I'm writing a string as hello. So hello is a sequence of characters. And if we keep it inside the quotes, it will be a string. So anything comes under single quotes is known as a string in Python. That's the definition of Python of the string. And we have different methods in strings, and we're going to see it today. And it supports various operations, including concatenation, repetition, indexing, and slicing. Um, I will give an example here. Suppose you are giving your first name and last name. First name and if you fill first name and last name in any of the Google form or something, and the software or some other application to process the data, you just need the first name. Suppose you just need the first name, and there is a condition saying that if the first name should be in first 5 characters. Okay, first 5 characters should be a name, and the last 5 characters should be last name. So total length of the string will be 10 characters. Okay, let's say hash include. So this is a string, and we can perform different operations on this string. Let's say this is a first name and this is a last name. Like to process the data in the software or for further data operations, we just need the first name. So the first 4 characters. So we have a slicing function in Python. So we can index data from 0 to 3. Okay. So as I told, string is a series of characters. So each index, H will be a character, A will be a character, S. So it will be a single individual characters. Altogether is known as a string. So if we want to access first character in a string, we just need to access the first index. Okay, is it understandable, or do you want to take? Do you want me to give any other examples? Okay, if at any point of time if you have any questions, just just write a message in the meet or just unmute yourself. Okay. So this will be our first index. So index will be starting from 0. So if you want to access the first character of your string, you need to access the first index 0. If you want second index, you should be accessing 1, 2, 3, likewise. Okay. Let me show you here. First, you need to select the file session3. It should be in with .py extension. Let's say the variable name is text. So this will be our string here. Text will be our variable and the data type is string. You want to access the first index, we just need to go print text of 0. If we see the output here, it is just printing capital H. Okay. Likewise, if you want to print index from like 0 to 3, so you just need to give a colon 0 colon 3. So if you are giving 0 to 3, it will neglect the last index. So it will print only 0, 1, 2. That means HAS. Okay, it is printing HAS. So on the first 4 characters, gives 0 to 4. Okay, that is the slicing operation by in strings. And then we have different methods in strings. So if you want to create a single line, it will be double quotes or single quotes, and then your string in between the single quotes or double quotes. If you want to create a multi-line string, it will be 3 double quotes or 3 single quotes. Okay. Let's say let me give me a variable as text2. And if I want to create multi-line string, then I really want. So if you are not creating string in a single statement or single line, it will be known as multi-line strings. So here my string is of 3 lines. So we can say it as a multi-line strings. And if you want to create a multi-line string, you need to give in a triple quotes. That is known as multi-line strings. And we have different methods. As I told, we have different methods to work on strings in Python, and we're gonna cover all these methods now. Any questions? Okay, again, like if you got a Google form, if you got a Google form, let's say you got a Google form and you are filling your first name and last name. So we know that name is a string, right? But like once the data is submitted, the data is received by the backend system, and system needs to process the data. Okay, suppose you ordered an item on Flipkart or Amazon. Okay, and you are giving your delivery details and everything. So it will be in string format. But to process the data, there is a logic in the backend system to convert the first name or last name to a capital letters or like process in small letters. So we have a function call, we have method call string dot upper. Okay, we show you. So I want this hash include to be in uppercase. So what I will do is simply I will do text dot upper. It will be caps. So it is in uppercase right now. So if you want to do the same in lowercase, we have method called lower. Okay, it is printing hash including smaller letters. Okay, these are two functions and we have other functions. Okay. So I'm giving my string as, ABC, comma, 1, 2, 3, and then XYZ. So this will be your string. But you want to split the data based on the splitter here. The delimiter is the comma here. So if you want to split the string based on the delimiter. So I want to just give the output as ABC, 1, 2, 3, and XYZ as separately, separate strings. So there is a method called string. So this is known as string. The string variable lot split. So we are splitting based on the comma. So you need to give comma here. You need to provide comma here. So that's how we split the strings in Python. Printing text dot split. So we have space here. So space is dividing hash and include. So simply I will use space. Let's say I'm giving hash comma include, and I want to split the data based on comma. Comment these things. Yeah, so it is splitting the data. So we have a comma as a delimiter here, and it is splitting data based on the split function. In the split function, we says we need to print the splitted data based on comma. So it is splitting the text string as hash and then include separately. Okay, so these two will be different strings. So that is one of the method. Okay, and there is some other, let's say, use case. If you are giving your data, your string as hash, and there is a function or something logic in the backend system that that needs to say if the first name, like first letter, start with capital H or small h. So we have function called starts with h. So it will check the first letter. If it is starting with capital H, it will say it is true. If it is not starting with capital H, or if it is starting with some other letter other than capital H, it will just throw false. So this is a Boolean data type. Right? Can someone say what will this function throws here? Can someone say what this function throws here? Is it true or false? Is it starting with capital H? Anyone?
Will say false.
No, right. It is not starting with capital H. It is a small h, so it will just throw false. It will say false. Is it starting with capital H? No, so it will throw false. Here once again, and we're checking if it is starting with capital H or not. Is saying true because it is capital H. Let me change it to KAN. Here it is starting with small k, so it is not capital H. So it will be this function just throw false. So it is saying false. Okay, this is one of the method in strings in Python. And okay, and if you want to find the length, if you want to find the length, so what will be the length of this thing? What is the length? Well, how many characters are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So to print the length of the string, we have a method called print. So I'm printing the length len of string. So here the string variable name is text. So len of text. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So here the length is 12. So length of string is 12. We are giving hash and space here. So here the length will be 5. So even though there is a space, so the interpreter in Python takes this as a single character. So this also will be calculated here. Let me show here. Let's say text2 is equal to hash and space. I'm printing length of text2. So it is fine. Okay. Okay, we have different other functions called capitalize. Title means it will just capitalize the first character of each word, and we have strip. So it will remove the white space. Like if there is any white space in leading or in the ending, so it will just remove the white space in the strings and then prints out the strings without white space. And there is a function method called replace. So I want to replace hash with some other name. So simply I will say print text dot replace. So what I am replacing here, I want to replace the word hash. So I'm saying here word hash with welcome. Let's say I want to print welcome to include. So I am replacing hash with welcome to. So if you are printing this, it says welcome to include. So we are replacing the word hash with welcome to. So that is one of the method in strings to replace the substrings. Okay. The next data type is booleans. Like if you see in real world, like each statement or if there is any instruction or anything, it should be either true, either false, right? So it cannot be both. It should be either true or false. Let's say like if it is raining, and you have an umbrella, right? So so this is a real world example. If it is raining, would you take umbrella or not? So what will be your answer? Is it true or false? Right? So it should be either true or false. If it is raining, I will be taking umbrella, so it will be true. And if it is not raining, means else. So we will be covering the control statements in the next session. But this is an just a simple example to understand Boolean values. So if it is not raining, I won't take umbrella, so it is false. So it can be either true or false in the real world scenarios or even in programming. Okay, let me show you examples here. Let's say there are two integers. Is 2 greater than 3 or not? Is it true or false? Is 2 greater than 3? Anyone? Is 2 greater than 3? Yes, it's false, right? It's false. Is 2 is equal to 3? No, is 2 is not equal to 3. It's false. We can say is 2 less than 3? Yes, if 2 is less than 3, so it is true. And 2 greater than or equal to 3? No, it's false. Is 2 is less than or equal to 3? Yes, it's true. No, that's how we can say either the statement is either true or false. Okay. So let's say like if you want to buy an iPhone and if you have 1 lakh rupees, you will go for an iPhone 15. So it is true. And if you don't have no more than 1 lakh rupees, you won't be buying iPhone 15, right? So it will be the false statement. Okay. Just say me either true or false in these statements. Is 10 greater than 8? Like unmute yourself. Unmute yourself or write here. Yes, 10 is greater than 8. True. Is 20 greater than 20? It's false. Is 10 less than 12? 10 is less than 12, right? It's true. Is 0 greater than 1? It's false. Okay. So that's how we can say each statement or any instruction what we're giving in even in programming, it can be the true or false. So based on the true or false conditions, the other program execution will be done. Okay. So it is an important on a fundamental to learn in programming, the operators. We have different operators in Python. So we have arithmetic operators, like it's an addition, subtraction, modulos, and just let me first explain you assignment operators, and then we will go to other operators. So operators in Python. Normally, what do you mean by an operator? First of all, what do you mean by an operator? Let's take the same example. We have number 2 variable and number 3 variable. So we know x is an variable with the data value as 2. So 2 is an integer, and y is an variable called there's a variable called y, and we are giving the data value as 3. So 3 is an integer. So operators are nothing but they are used to perform operations on variables or values. So these are 2 variables, and we want to perform operations on these things. So we can use operators to perform operations on these data types, on these or these variables. So we have different operators in Python. So the first one will be arithmetic operators, and the second one will be assignment operators, and the third one will be comparison operators, and the fourth will be logical operators, And then we have identity operators. And then we have membership operators. Yeah, don't worry about the notes. I will be updating the Google Doc after the session. And we have bitwise operators. Okay, so these are different types of operators in Python. First, we're gonna see arithmetic operators. So in arithmetic operators, we have different operands. So we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulo, exponent, remainder. Okay. Suppose like it's a general arithmetic operators we use in our daily mathematics. Okay. Let's say the same example, or let me do 9 comma 4. So I'm assigning in Python, we just write a is equal to 9, and the variable 9 will be our object, and a will be our variable, and b is equal to 4. So we can do different arithmetic operations on these two variables. If I want to add 9, a and b, I simply write a plus b. So as I told, Python is as easy as English. So it is similar to our English language, right? So we're just printing a and a plus b. Same for subtraction, a minus b, and for multiplication, a into b. So what is the 9 into 4? 9 fours, 36, right? So it will be into b. And what will be 9 by 4? It's 4 to 8. So 2 will be 9 by 4 is equal to 2. And what is 9 modulus 4? 9 modulo 4 will be remainder. So here remainder is 1. What is 9 power 4? So 9 double asterisk 4 is equal to 9 power 4. So whatever the value is, it will be 9 power 4. And we have other one called 9 double slash 4. So basically double slash mean it will just round off the remainder to a nearest value. Suppose we have quotient called 2.2, or 2.2 is something in decimals. So it will just convert it to a whole number, nearest whole number. So the nearest whole number here is 2, and here it is 2. Say 2.7, the nearest will be 3. So it will round off. This operator just round off the portion to a nearest whole number. Okay, any questions? Comment everything. So I'm taking a is equal to 9 and b is equal to 4. And a plus b. And a minus b. It's multiplication. Division. Okay. So just hit the run. So 9 plus 4, 9 minus 4, and 9 into 4, 9 by 4, and it's 9 power 4, and it's 9 double slash 4. So the nearest number will be 2. So it is printing 2 here. So these are different operators. So these all comes in arithmetic operation. So it is known as arithmetic operators. And the next one will be assignment operators. The assignment operators. Okay. So we created a variable. We created a variable in Python. So what we are exactly doing here? We are assigning a value to a variable A. So 4 will be our object, and we are assigning the value for this variable. So this is known as assignment operation. So here the operator is equal to. So we're assigning value 4 to a variable A. So this is an assignment operator. And you might be here seeing this one. A plus is equal to 4. So what is mean by this? A plus is equal to 4. So it basically, this is a right operand and this is the left operand, right? Whatever comes before is equal to is a left operand, and whatever the operand comes after is equal to right side of is equal to is known as right operand. So it will basically add left operand to a right operand. So a plus is equal to 4 is nothing but a is equal to a plus 4. So we are assigning a plus 4 to a value a, to a variable a. So we initiated a is equal to 4, and if you want saying a plus is equal to 2, so what we'll basically do is a is equal to a plus 2. So we know a is equal to 4. So 4 plus 2, that is equal to 6. So the new a value will be 6. So we got as a got assigned to a new value called a 6. Okay. So that is one of the assignment operator. And we have another one called a minus is equal to 2. That is nothing but a is equal to a minus 2. So we have a is equal to 4, right? So this is a different example. So initiator is equal to 4. So a minus is equal to 2. That is nothing but a is equal to a minus 2, and a will be of 4. So a will be out 2. And similarly, you can do a into 2. A into is equal to 2. So that is nothing but a is equal to a into 2. So 4 into 2, it is 8. Okay. Any questions till now? Any questions in comments or something? Okay. So I want to update the a value. So I can say I want to add number 1 to a. So I simply say a plus is equal to 1. So which is nothing but a is equal to a plus 1, right? So we know a is equal to 9 here from the line 16. So simply it will add 16 plus 1. So our new value will be 17. Sorry, 9 plus 1, it's 10. Okay. So our new value will be 10. Similarly, I want to minus 2 from the actual value. So I can simply say a minus is equal to 2. So this is nothing but a is equal to a minus 2. So initially we have value 9. So we are just incrementing it by 2. And if you want to update. So it will be 9 minus 2, it will be 7. Sorry, here the updated value is 10, right? So I'm just doing this one. So 9 minus 2, it will be 7. Okay. The same like a into 2 and a by 2. So this comes under assignment operators. And we have comparison operators. So comparison. So what will be the output of comparison? So it will be either true or false, right? In the previous examples we have seen, right? Is equal to or greater than equal to, or we have operator called not equal to or less than equal to or greater than less than. So all this comes under comparison operators. So it will basically compare two operands. So in previous example we have seen 2 is equal to 3. So it is a comparison operator. So that is comparing if the left operand is equal to right operand. So it is wrong. So it will just print false. Same wise, this operand is comparing number 2 with 3. Is 2 greater than or equal to 3? No. So it is just printing false. Okay. The same wise, we have other operators called 2 or not equal to and less than or equal to, greater than, less than. So all this comes under comparison operators. So if you want to write any program or any functions, or if you want to create any classes or objects, the logic for the logic we'll be using different operators. And we have logical operators. That's the next one, right? Yeah, logical operators. So we might be heard about AND operator, OR operator, or NOT operator. So we have three different operators. These three comes under logical operations. Two, four. So I have two numbers, 2 and 3. How can we write this in a binary format? How can I write 2 in a binary format? So we might be learned in different classes. So 2 is 0, 1, 0, right? 3 will be 0, 1, 1, right? So 0 into 2 power 0 plus 1 into 2 power 1 plus 0 into 2 power 2. So it is 0 plus 2 plus 0. So that's equal to 2. So that's how we write decimal number as, or the integer as binary number. So if I want to perform AND operation on these two numbers, so we have a condition, right? If two operands are true, the output will be true. Output will be true for AND operator. And for operator, if any of the operand, so if any of the operand is true, so at least one operand should be true, and then it will output as true. It will return as true, and not is as vice versa, like inversion. If it is true, input is true. So not true will be false. Right? So not equal to true means that the next one will be a false. And not false means it will be true. So these are different operators in Python, different logical operators in Python. See these things. Print. I'm printing true. So I'm using AND operator and false. What is true and false? What it will be written. So and if the both operands are true, the AND operators will be returning true. So here we see one of the operand is false, so it will be returning false. So it will return false here. Same wise, in OR operator, as I told, if any of the operands should be either true, like in the here first operand is true, so it will print return true. Okay, and if I'm printing, if I'm using not operator, let's say I say not true. So if it is not true, it will return false. So it is returning false. Okay. So these three operators are known as logical operators in Python. And the next type of operators is known as identity operators. Okay, we covered arithmetic operators like basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and assignment operators like assigning values, and comparison operators like comparing two operands, left operand with right operand. And then we covered logical operators, so and or not. So next one will be identity operators. Okay, so a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 3 is our example. So as soon as we create a is equal to 2, the Python interpreter, like inside the Python, the memory space is allocated for a. So memory location for a is allocated to store object 3. And for when we assign b is equal to 3, memory space for variable b is created, right? So when we're comparing a with b, it is actually comparing its memory locations. So basically we know 2 is less than 3, 2 is greater than 3 because that's we know in general. But how do Python knows? Like how do Python knows if 2 is equal to 3, right? A is equal to b. How does it knows? It will actually check the memory locations. Is A, okay, B, and say we say A, B, and 2, 3. So A is directing to 2 memory location, B is directing to memory location 3. So here in the heap memory, we say these two variables are in different memory locations. So if we are comparing A with B, we can say it is true or false, right? So if both A comma B are directing to same object, we can say it is true. If not, it is false, right? If both variables are directing to pointing to a same object, so it means both variables have same memory location. So we just know that both values are same. So can say A is B. So B is known as identity operator. So A is checking its memory location with B. Here we have different memory locations. So if you say A is B here, it is not true, right? It is not true. So it is return false. If we say A is B in this scenario, it will return true here since A is pointing to 2 and B is also pointing to 2, right? Let's see this one here. I'm assigning it again. A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 3. I want to print the result. Is A is B? Anyone? Anyone in the comments? Is 2 equal to 3? It is false, right? So, so in general, we know A is not equal to 3. So same in Python, we say A is B or not. We're checking if A is B or not. So it should return false. So A is not equal to B. Let's say I'm having the same values. A is equal to 2, B is also 2. So now two variables are pointing to the same object. So now it is true. So A is also 2, B is also 2. So it is known as identity operator. And we also have A is not B. So we have A is different from B. So we know A is different from B. Just want to check if uh, this statement is true or not. So we simply say A is not B. So it is true. So A is not equal to B. That's why it is printing true. Okay. So we covered is operator and is not operator. And we have membership operators. So the next top type of operator is known as membership operators. Covered all the different operators. So the next one will be membership operators. There are two types of operators, operands, in and not in. So the membership operators mean, let's say, how can we say in a real world scenario? Okay. Okay, we have like two people in house, like housemate A, housemate B, and housemate C. So we have three people in house one. And if you want to check if the housemate D is in house one or not. So using membership operators, we can say if the variable housemate D is member of house one or not. So basically, so D is an housemate. So and ABC are different housemates. And we want to check if D is present in house one or not. So we simply say is D in house. So we're actually checking if D membership is in house one or not. So here we see only A, B, C are in house one. So D is not in house one. So D is not in house one, right? So it will just print false. Same way, if I want to check B in house one, so B is present in house one. So B in house one. So it will return true. So we are just checking the membership of this variable in this, in this variable. So house one is known as variable here. Or we have different housemates, and so these are nothing but objects. Housemates are known as objects. So D is one of the object. If D object is present in this variable or not. So it is, if it is present, it will just return true. If it is not present, it will return false. Okay. Okay, just for example, I have 1, 2, 3. I will cover more about list and tuple after this topic. Let's say if I need to print, I need to know if one is present in this list or not. So let's say A is my list, one in A. So if we know one is present in A, so it will just return true. Let's say I want to check 4 in A. If 4 is in A, it will print true. But here we say 4 is not present in list A, so it will just return false to us. Okay, so these are membership operators in Python. Okay, and we have bitwise operators. So normally we have A and B, A or B. So basically it's nothing but it's just taking the binary value of the number and it is just printing the AND operation of those two numbers or OR operators of those two numbers. Let's say A is equal to 4 and B is equal to 5. I'm saying A and B. How we can write number 4 in using binary format? How can, do you know anyone? Anyone knows how to write out number 5 in binary, number 4 in binary format? Anyone wants to know this, or do you already know this? If you're not saying anything, I assume that you know everything. Basically, binary, to write the number into a binary format, we actually have the power of 2's. 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 4, and so on. So 2 power 4 is 16. 2 squared is 4. 2 power 1 is 2. 2 power 0 is 1. If I want to write number 4 in binary format, I can say 0, it's number 4, 1, 0, 0. So 0 into 2 power 0 means 0, 0 into 2 power 1 means 0, 1 into 2 square means 4, and 0 into 2 power 0. So we can write as 0, 1, 0, 0. Same way for 5, we can write as 0, 1, 0, 1. So it's 2 square and 2 power 0. So 4 plus 1, it's 5. And if you want to do AND operation, if I want to do AND operation here, it is just taking the each bit. It's what is 0 and 1 means. So basically in programming, 0 mean false, 1 mean true. 0 will be true and 1 will be false. Okay, what is false and true? False and true will be false, so it will be 0. What is false and false? It is false in AND operator, so it is 0. What is true and true? Means 1 and 1. It is true, so it is 1. What is 0 and 0? False and false. It will be false. It will be 0. So 4 and 5 is equal to 0, 1, 0, 0. So it is nothing but number 4. Okay. Okay. We covered strings and different methods in strings and the Boolean operators and the different type of operators, Boolean data types and different types of operators. We covered operators, different types of operators, and we have seen all these type of operations here. Okay. We have other data types. Can someone list me what are different data types in Python? Like we covered in session 1 and session 2. What are different data types? What are different data types in Python? So when we are assigning a value to variable, we're assigning something. So the data can be of any format. So we have different data types in Python. What are those? Okay, in float, boolean, list, tuples. Okay. Okay. So we covered integers, float, complex data type, and we covered boolean data type. We covered string data type today, and we have important other four data types known as list, tuple, sets, and dictionaries. Okay. 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 Why do we need these data types in what, or else what do you mean by these data types? What do you mean by these data types? Like here, when you are assigning a value, we can only assign one value or two value. A, comma b. If you want, so each variable has each value, right? We're creating a variable. We're just assigning one value to each variable. And let's say, like, you are in a class. Class has 20 students. Okay. And 20 students has name, ID, mobile number. Or you just need to save their names. Save their names. Let's say you just want to save all the 20 student names. So how do you do that? Imagine you have a class of 20 students. So in this session, I have 12 students here. I have 12 students in this session. How can I save all the 12 names? Anyone? How can you save all the 12 students' names? So you don't want to create name 1, name 2, name 3, name 4 up to name 20 for 20 students, right? It's very complex. Let's say if you have 1,000 students, you cannot create 1,000 variables like that. So we have a collection data types. So it saves all the values as a collection. If you have integer data type, it only saves a is equal to 2. So only one data value is getting saved. So if you want to save multiple data type, multiple data values as a collection, we have list. So list we can store multiple data values. So name of 20 students as one variable, name 1, name 2, till name 20. Okay. If we create a list, a space is allocated. The space for the list, space for this variable is getting created, and this will point out to this collection. This list collection. We have data of 20 students in this collection. Okay. Any doubts here? Like if you have any doubts in understanding list data type, so this is the correct time to ask. So moving forward, we will be discussing on different methods in list and different things. So make sure you ask the questions right now. Or let's take other example. Suppose you want to buy groceries. You want to save the groceries in one variable. So we have 20 items to buy. So what you can do is you can create a list and you can save all the 20 variables in list. Let's say this is my month starting by month start and month in the list. So just create a list of items you want to buy on month start, like starting of the month or ending of the month. So just create a list and store the values here. Whatever you want to buy during the month start, or whatever the items you want to buy during end of the month. So you can just create a list and then add your items to the list. Let's say I want to buy apple, banana, avocado, or sprouts. Okay, so I'll just create a list. So I want to buy fruits. So I will create a fruits list, and I want to store all these things. So to create a list, we need to use square brackets, and each item should be separated by comma. So this is a basic rule. This is the basic rule to create a list. So this is our list name. Fruits will be our list name, and this will be our format in the square format, and then we are giving separating each item with comma. So this is known as the list. This is how list is to be created. Any questions? I think it's more than 1 hour for you. So okay, for now I will stop the session here. So in the next session I will be talking about the list methods and then how can we format the list and how can we access the list and creating tuples, sets, and dictionaries in next session. Okay, till now, if you have any questions, write in the message box there. Any questions? I'm stopping recording.